Hi, this is Mary Kay. I'm going to be painting a mountain scene, a mountain winter scene, a snowy scene. So I pulled this off the internet and I got a piece of tracing paper underneath it. I've traced it. This is what it looks like now. It's just that very simple snow scene. The paints that I'm going to use today are all the different blues: Antwerp, French, indigo. I'm going to use neutral tint for the very darks. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet the sky. And one thing I want you to notice is just how loose this sky is and how these clouds are really pale and flowy. So the blue that I see in that, I think, is kind of an Antwerp. So I'm going to start with a little Antwerp. You could use cerulean. Antwerp or cerulean or both. And I'm just going to put this wet paint onto this wet paper, making sure that I have the corners of the paper. Oh, I got some brown or something. That's okay. I'll just ignore that. I'm gonna take my brush and just dry it like that, and then make this go down to my mountains. Just very, very, very pale. Even clean water, just putting in some clean water. And then that'll make some of those watermarks show up. And then the trick to skies is that you just have to leave them alone and not touch them anymore. Now I can start right in on the mountains, but I will have to make sure that I don't touch the sky. So what I think I'm going to do is just let that all dry and do its watermarks and whatever weird thing it's going to do. I'm going to go down here to the tree line above the water. And it's really some negative painting in here. So I'm wetting this with my brush above the water. And these are some of the darkest colors in the painting. So I'm going to go to my indigo. Ooh, that's nice and dark. I like that. It's beautiful. And if I touch, let's just see what happens. If I touch the part that's wet and the part that's kind of dry. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some cerulean or some manganese into this. See how that looks. Like that. Okay. Now the lowest part here, one of the tricks to a good composition is that in the mountains where the lowest part is, don't make that the lowest part of your trees. Bring your trees up just a little bit. Where that lowest part is, so that it's not just mimicking it. So the way I'm painting these triangles is just with this flat brush. I start at the bottom and I just kind of let it go up. So I'm pushing and then I'm just leaving a little tip at the top. Changing up those colors. I can go in and I can add little crosses on those trees. And now what I'm going to do is just go in with water here at the bottom. I'm going to get a little bit darker right in here. Oh, that's my line. I thought it was a hair. Okay. And now I'm going to I'm just adding some more trees in here. I love that there's different blues right now and that they've kind of all mixed up a little bit. I'm going to go to my pencil brush with just water in it, and I'm going to touch that bottoms of those trees. And I'm painting this snowbank and making it sort of soft in there. I'm just painting with water right now. Oh, I love what that's doing. So soft and misty. Ah. And then I'm going to put some shadows in that snowbank. The snowbank goes right to the water. Just like that. I'm going to keep it very simple. Okay, and I do want a few more like little like pine tree shape. So I'm adding some little crosses to this. Now I'm going to go do the water. The water to me has a lot of white, and I think it looks really like cerulean, and then darks in this corner here. So I'm going to go to my cerulean, and then this goes right up to the bank. I'm leaving areas that are pure white and going with some brighter blues really. And then over here there's going to be darks. I'm going to put those in next. So I'm trying to make it look like it's icy. Icy. Where I'm not painting is the ice. And then this corner I went with some darks, so I'm going to go into my indigo. Here it comes. Ooh, so exciting. And then right up here to my bank, there's a little line of dark. Of course, some of that is my pencil mark. Not really a dark line at the water, so that's tricky. Right here is a little farther back bank. Comes to here. Little shadows, tiny little shadows underneath those pieces of ice. And then this, I think, down here needs to be just more blues. I haven't done any French yet. I think it needs some French in there too. Great place to sign our names on either side of this water down here. I take a filed or a whittled piece of bamboo, go up at least a half an inch, and just write my name into the wet paint. I sign my name, Mary K. S. Jolly. And then I put a little C with a circle around it, so that's a copyright mark saying that even that this is my work on paper. And if I put it in a show or put it on the internet, I will figure out who this artist is, and I will say in the style of this person here. Okay, last step are these mountains. So it looks like French, cerulean French, and indigo up there. I'm going to paint these, I'm going to start off dry on dry. So I'll just put that on, and then I'm going to use some water. I'm going to leave a hard edge there and a soft edge here. Going up to this part up here. I'll go off the page and making some angles down. Then I'm going to paint with water. Okay, now I'm going to go over to this one here. This one again, it's the cerulean and a little bit of French. Starting here. You know, this same technique would be great for painting half dome. Just use the same colors. Again, so what I'm doing is just painting with water, and I'm going up into those paints I put on dry, then I put just with water down here. And I can just go over these little trees and it doesn't affect them at all because they've already dried. It's a sunny day on the coast here. It's drying pretty fast. I can put some more colors here, a little more here. Just want this to be these beautiful blues. And now I have this last hill here coming down here, and that's going to be the focal point. It does look like indigo right at the top of this. It's going to be wet on dry, and then I will go in with just with a wet brush. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse that brush out. I have a lot of water in my brush. And I just let the water touch that paint. And then back here on this back side, this kind of, see how this reminds me of Half Dome? So just all those blues. This is just a blue painting. It's the only colors we're using is blue. I want that very pale, so I used too much paint already. So I'm going to water this all down. I think it needs to be a little bit of Antwerp in there to kind of make it look like the sky a little bit. Okay, this is pretty pale in here, so I just need I need some colors down here. So I'm squidgling with water. Squidgling is a new art term. So this, just use all your blues and just put them on until you feel like you've got enough on there. Going back into this water here because I feel like it needs just a little bit more brightness. So I'm using cerulean and manganese to give this brighter area in the water. Just leaving the paper white in the water makes it look like it's ice. That's nice. I like this blur right in here. I like these mountains. They're kind of all the same blue. I feel like I need to go in with just a little bit of a different blue and add it to the top, because this is just too much the same. So this, I think the blue on here was French, and now I'm adding manganese or cerulean. And then the last thing I'm seeing, let me get this done. My mind's already jumped to the thing I'm going to do next, which is I think this needs to be even darker up there. That needs to be the focal point that our eye goes to right away. So this is the, oh, okay. This is the indigo. This, I'm going to talk about the indigo just a little bit more in a second once I paint this. So I have two different indigos on my palette. One of them is an indigo that doesn't have a more bright blue in it, and the other one has more of a blue. I'm going to put this on YouTube, and I will write in the comments which is which, because I can't remember now what they are, so I have to look it up. Okay, so now I'm just painting with water to try to get this, my eye to go there, but to look sort of natural. Okay, so my eye is definitely going there now, and I feel like maybe even over here, this just needs a little bit on this, the darker side of this, just to... Okay, actually, I think this is almost done. I am feeling like there needs to be some shadows underneath the ice. Not really a shadow, but just another layer of paint right next to where that is. So it's like well, maybe even some more indigo in that. Yeah. So there's just a little bit of darkness right underneath these where the ice hits. Now I'm going to add on my ice, I'm just going to add too much, a little bit of color on the ice because it's just a little too bright. And then right here I need to decide if I like that little spot in my painting. Maybe I do. I think maybe what I'll do is I will just even darken behind it and make my eye go there even more. So now it's my eyes kind of coming in, going to this spot, and then going up to that mountain. Okay, I think I'm done.